Hey everybody, I'm here today to show you how to steer a car around a turn while driving. This will be a very simple driving tutorial, and I'm going to show you a basic driving skill that you should master as you're driving. Let's get right to it. I'm going to start off by showing you how to do it with the car at a standstill like this, and then I'm going to show you how to do it as I'm driving. I'm going to demonstrate a turn without a stop sign, sort of a rolling turn, and then I'm going to demonstrate how to turn a car, how to steer a car around a turn when the car is starting from a standstill at a stop sign. All right, here's the steering wheel. I recommend holding the steering wheel like this, but other people hold it different ways. There are a wide variety of ways to hold it, but I recommend like this, okay? Now, as you're approaching the turn, you want to guide the car through the turn. Now, you do that by turning the steering wheel. So, depending on the speed of your car and depending on the sharpness of the turn, you might have to turn the steering wheel more or less. But the turn that I will be approaching at the speed that I will be approaching it at, coming up, I'm going to basically have to turn the wheel about this much, we'll say, give or take. And you'll see that when I demonstrate it. Now, the key when you are steering a car into a turn is to keep the turning amount of the wheel consistent. You don't want to be jumping back and forth as you're turning, because that's going to be very uncomfortable and very unsafe. So as you start guiding the car through the turn, you're going to use your judgment whether or not you have to turn more or less, and when you hit that sweet spot, you're going to basically hold the steering wheel like that. And you can adjust, and you can make small adjustments, but you don't want to be making big adjustments, so you're going to adjust throughout the turn, and then as you're done turning, you're going to start turning the steering wheel back, okay? Start turning the steering wheel back to straighten out the car when you have finished directing the car through the turn. So once again, you're approaching the turn, your hands are ideally right like this. You're going to start turning the steering wheel, use your judgment to figure out when you have to stop turning the steering wheel, and hold it pretty consistently throughout the turn. Then release the steering wheel. Now that's how you make a turn when you're actually moving, a rolling turn. If you're at a stop sign, you're going to start off with a little bit of a turn, and if you're making a sharp 90-degree turn, you're going to have to turn the steering wheel a little bit more, and then once again, as you complete the turn the steering wheel back. So I'm going to buckle up, let's do up my seatbelt. We're going to take this turn up ahead over here. This is a rolling turn, and then we'll move on to a stop sign turn, a turn from a stop. Put our indicator on, make sure the road is clear behind us, in front of us, and let's go ahead. So I'm driving down the street, I see a turn up ahead. Let's go ahead, we're going to put our left turn signal on. I'm going to start just pressing the brake ever so slightly. You want to maintain a constant speed throughout the turn. Now as I make the turn, I'm going to turn the steering wheel like this, hold it here, and as I'm done, release the steering wheel, begin to turn back. It's literally that simple. That is how to steer a car in a turn while driving. Now here's a stop sign. Let's come to a complete stop. We're going to make a left turn. Put my left turn signal on. We're going to start moving. Turn the steering wheel. As you can see, it's a little bit more of a turn. And then release. So you turn the steering wheel to guide your car through the turn. You're going to hold the steering wheel turned consistently throughout the turn, and then you're going to simply release the steering wheel, and then it'll begin to turn back. You might have to assist it in turning back ever so slightly. Once again, here's a stop sign, left turn signal. We're going to come to a complete stop. We're going to let this vehicle go ahead and go first, so we can take a little bit more time with the turn. Release the brake, push the gas, start turning, hold the steering wheel here, release as you complete the turn. It's literally that simple. I'll make a right-hand turn over here just to show you a right-hand turn, but it's pretty much a very similar process. You'll see that some turns are sharper than others and so forth. So, come to a stop. We're going to make a right-hand turn. We're turning the steering wheel a good amount for this right-hand turn. Release. And as you saw right there, I had to sort of assist the steering wheel back to go, back into the starting position, because there's a vehicle pulled over on the right side of the road. So I wanted to sort of stay a little bit more towards the center of the road. I'm just going to pull over right here for the finishing of this tutorial. And that's basically it, everyone. It's actually a really simple process. In this video, I've shown you how to steer a car around a turn while driving. It's a really simple process. Once again, the main focus is to turn the steering wheel guide the car through the turn, hold the steering wheel at a turned position, and then as you're finished the turn, you start guiding it back. Now, most of the time the steering wheel will turn back by itself, but you might have to assist it sometimes, and that's completely normal, because not every turn is the same, not every speed is the same, not every car is the same, not every road condition is the same. So with that being said, driving and steering a car through a turn is all about judgment. You have to use your judgment, and that's the message that I want to portray. There's no rule book saying you have to turn the steering wheel 50%, hold it there, and release it, and it'll turn back by itself. Everything is in an ideal situation, but every situation is not ideal. So with that being said, you have to use your judgment. Mastering the art of turning a car, steering a car through a turn is all about mastering your judgment, because you have to know when you turn the steering wheel this much, how much will the car turn? How will the car respond? How will the car react by me making this maneuver with the steering wheel? You know, if you have to turn the steering wheel a lot, how sharp will that turn have to be for me to make the turn by turning that steering wheel that much? So that's basically it. I've shown you how to steer a car. I've talked to you about the importance of judgment. And this has been a very simple driving tutorial, and I really hope that you have enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more car videos and car tutorials like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.